"13. In most parts of the world, an unlucky number. In Italy, it's a 17, but we won't be going that far this season. However, the 13 will most definitely be the lucky number for either Mick Collage or Rob Olnick today, our two remaining fighters for the F1 Championship. 22 points is the difference between them. A big margin to overcome for Robo, but far from mission impossible. So buckle up, get some popcorn and join us today as we try to watch round 13 of the Grand Prix Legend Series live on the global SimRacing channel via the iRacing eSports network. Speaking to you from the press box up high, Stefan Schlacher alongside Ryan Walker. Turning the knobs and pushing the buttons behind the scenes are the director Sean Craig Ambrose, and he's using cameras provided by the great Dougie Beard. Famous for the Daytona 24 Hours, the opening round of the IMSA Sports Car Championship, the road course at Daytona is very well known around the world. Though, as we might have new viewers here with us today that don't know the sports car gem, let's head trackside with our GSRC track guide.
Welcome to the Daytona International Speedway. While many oval fans associate this Central Florida track with mainly NASCAR, the road course has gained just as much worldwide fame thanks to it hosting motorcycles and sports cars for decades. In fact, the flagship road race, the 24 Hours of Daytona, has become a major draw for drivers of all disciplines, many eager to have a go at endurance racing. The stats make this place sound relatively simple, with 12 turns spread among 3.5 miles. Indeed, a majority of the lap is spent on the oval portion, where you fly along the notoriously steep banking. But it's easy to underestimate the challenge presented to the drivers. The infield portion begins with the scary kinked entry of Turn 1. Not only is it the fastest part of the track, but the transition from the banking to the flat tends to upset the car as you slow it down. There's also the bus stop chicane on the backstretch. Added in the 80s, this is a tricky piece of circuit that punishes a poor exit severely, with it leading back into the latter half of the oval. As you'd expect, the long periods on throttle mean that drafting tends to play a factor in the racing. It also means passing isn't usually too great of an issue if you have the pace to catch someone. The more difficult thing is managing to gap your opponent so that they don't ride in your slipstream once you get by. With half a century of endurance racing collected among these walls, it's not unfair to say that road racers have just as much claim to call Daytona home. Fans who come to watch certainly won't be disappointed by the high speeds and fantastic thrills it invariably provides each year.
Joe Peak giving a great insight to one of the greatest road courses in this country. And by the way, are you looking to take advantage of GSRC's over 1 million monthly global impressions? From official series sponsorships to commercial placements, we have advertising options customizable to suit your company's needs. Follow the link in the description to learn more. As always, learning more is what we're about here at GSRC. So Ryan, why don't you give us a rundown about the track details?
Yeah, absolutely. This Daytona road course is one of my favourite tracks when it comes to endurance racing, and it's also famous for hosting the Daytona 24 Hours, and has also hosted NASCAR in the past with the Daytona 500, and also recently hosted the road version of NASCAR or basically hosted the road race for NASCAR on the newly configured layout. But today we'll be using an older layout for the Lotus 49 series, the 2008 version, and the track is 3.56 miles in length, or 5.73 kilometers if you prefer to use that. Has 12 turns and is located in Daytona Beach, Florida. So yeah, just some facts about the track, and I have to say I'm looking forward to this round of the last round of the season, what should be a thriller.
Very shortly, you have already seen what's coming up next. It's the F1 Drivers' Championship standings, and you got the sneak peek there already between Mick Collage and Rob Olnick. 428 points versus 406. 22 points separate the UK night driver and the US driver. So it's really going to be a great showdown between those two. As already said, it is not mission impossible for Rob, but it nearly seems like Mikkelaj there has to be a mishap from him for Robbo to win at that. By the way, also over Trengrid in 3rd place, and then we have also still that battle for 4th place between Nicola Kosher and Rafael Dorado, who has been exceptional the last few races. So the Netherlands driver most definitely is looking inside the top 4 more than he is looking to stay in the top 5. Ryan, it's all but dusted in the F2's championship.
It is in Finland. Antti Kerinen has got the F2 championship wrapped up and in the bag, so he has no worries about people being attacked from behind for the championship. So it's a battle for 2nd place between David Rossi and Colin Bentley, but also Pekka Ristu and Andrew Eng are not out of contention for 2nd and 3rd in the championship, so keep an eye out on them.
Last but not least, we also have the Nations Cup for you, where we look at the top nations of this series. United Kingdom right now in 1st place, just behind them, 41 points. It's the United States, so even that battle is still going on. So that could also be very interesting to look at. Italy in 3rd place, Norway 4th, Netherlands 5th. They're also rather tied together, but they're already over 100 points behind 1st place, so they won't have anything in the title for the Nations Cup either. Ryan, we might have some new viewers here in this last race of the season, so why don't you give them a rundown of what we can expect from today's race?
Absolutely. So this is round 13 of this 13-round season. It's hard to think it, we're in the last round already because it's just absolutely flew by. The race today will be 20 laps around this track, but it might feel like an eternity. The setup, as always, is open, so you're free to make any changes. And as always, regarding the incidents, 17x will be a stop and go penalty. And if you get to 25x, you will be automatically disqualified from the race. So, kind of in a way, this track is not so punishable with the incident limits. But also, on the other hand, through the likes of the bus stop, drivers are going to have to be careful with regards to the off tracks and also the notorious slowdowns.
Yeah, very much so. That bus stop is going to be one of the most crucial points here in this race. Main overtaking spot, not quite. Turn 1 has the upper hand on that battle, but speaking about upper hands, that's also what Mikkelaj has right now over Rob Olnick. As always, the UK and I driver extremely fast in qualifying right now. There is a 4-tenth gap between himself and Robbo, and then we have Nicola coaching in 3rd place, a 10th behind Rob Olnick, and then Bill Tyler, another 2/10 behind in 4th. Dave Price now in 5th place, so the number 5 makes a return once again into the series after taking, I think, 2 weeks off. 2nd lap for Mikkelaj is not going to be fastest, so he's gonna practice the standing start because, yes, we might be on a roll, Ryan, but we still have a standing start.
We do indeed, and also with the start being on the banking as well at the start line, or the start line being rather banked, I should say. It's difficult in a way to get off the line because when you get off the line, you go sideways a little bit just due to the camber nature. And so yeah, some of these drivers are maybe just taking the opportunity after their 2nd lap just to practice and just get familiar with it.
Yeah, if one of our viewers here today has already some experience in starting an open wheeler on a non-bank straight, well, you know how difficult these things can be to start. Yeah, multiply that by about 1,000, and you are most definitely gonna know how difficult Lotus 49 is to start on the very steep banking here at the dogleg at the Daytona Oval. Seems like we have most definitely everybody that's of our most favorite drivers for this top spot here already going through the qualifying. They're all done and dusted as we're now looking at Sebastian Tixier. Obviously, Lotus 49 on the September 5th is a rather dark combination because the last driver that took a Lotus 49 to victory lane was the late Austrian Jochen Rindt, whose 50th death anniversary is today in qualifying at the Monza circuit. Died very tragically at a young age and was the first ever F1 championship driver. to win a championship after his death.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like qualifying is just about to come to an end, and shortly we'll be going to the grid. And this will be a great way to round out the season. And I'm, like I say, looking forward to this race. It should be a close race, especially up at the front between the two championship contenders, Claridge and Olenek.
Yeah, and we already have finished our qualifying. The sun is out a little bit more. Cloud cover has released a little bit of sunlight onto this track. So let's have a look at our shiny starting grid. Mikkelaj is going to be taking pole here today. There you can also see the weather information for today's start. Rob Olenek will be lining up in second place on the outside of the banking. Nicola Kochi, third place for him. Bill Tyler, fourth. David Price, fifth. Ovid Trangerade with a 1 minute 40 flat lap time puts himself into sixth place. He is the first driver that was slower than a 140 with Antti Kerinen in seventh. Sebastian Tixier, eighth. Ron Pawlowski, ninth. And Rafael Dorado, your fifth place driver in the championship, starts in 10th.
Starting 11th is Peg Risto. Alongside him is going to be Yuri Giesen. Antonio Ruiz will be in 13th. Paul Forster starts in 14th. Bill Wright in 15th. With Chris Marikami in 16th. 17th is Gary Teal. 18th is Douglas Cloud. 19th is Emmanuel Pereira. And rounding out the 20 is Benjamin Demas Finn. Hopefully I said that right.
21st, Dave Cohen, Don Peak, 22nd, Andrew Eng, 24th, Rob Plumley, and Andres Bruno round out the top 25 with Chris Hengler in 26th, and Anthony O'Brother, 27th, Douglas Nelson, Randy Houghton, Terry Thomas Hauser are your top 30, David Meyer, 31st, Richard Tucker, 32nd, Drew Krug is running out to top 33 of this field. That's all that qualified here today of our 38 grid field, with Colin Bentley, Jan Lehman, John Van Dorn, Gary Anderson, and Robert Reynolds not setting a qualifying lap here today. As I think all of our drivers have already lined up as well, so we are only a few seconds away from the green flag. The engines are starting to harmonize. Green flag is out. There's a bad start from Nicola Kochi. Goes right out sideways on the launch. Doesn't really get able to attack Rob Olenek. Rob Olenek also not really able to attack Mikkelaj ahead of him. Oh, who is that sideways? That was over Trangerade all the outside. There's a car going super wide as well outside of turn 1. But I think apart from that, everybody is so far so clean.
So far so good. There was just one minor incident towards the back of the field, but I was too busy watching the front, so I never saw who it was. But Mick Claridge made a great start and caught Rob Olenek in a way, just caught him napping as they come up to the horseshoe now, and Claridge in the lead, closely followed by Olenek, closely followed by...
Oh, there's a wreck behind Rafael Dorado around, hit by Antonio Reese. Rafael Dorado, I was talking to him earlier the day. He said he had a lot of opportunities already to try to spin his car around outside of turn 4, so masterfully turned his car around while spinning, kept it going in the right way. He has rejoined quite a ways back, seems to be 17th, 18th, somewhere around there. So that most definitely is quite dampening to his ambitions to get inside top 4 in the championship.
Yep, as they come through the bus stop now, and they come round the bank and now back onto the home straight, and it looks like I think Roman Pawlowski was in the pits as well.
Oh, there's a big wreck in behind in the bus. So we're gonna mark that right now for you guys, so we can go back to it once these guys make it through the first 2 or 3 laps. Seems like Ron Pawlowski was in that. Also, Tristan Murakami seemed to be in that wreck, but we're gonna all unravel that once we can have a look at the replay for that. Right now, though, it's Mikkelaj leading away ahead of Rob Olenek, Nicola Kochi, the Italian driver, in 3rd place, Ovid Trangerade 4th, Sebastian Tixier, the 11th driver, the number 11 driver, there we go, starting from 8th place up to 5th already.
Yeah, a good start from Tixier, and I think we're just about to take a look at the replay now.
Yeah. We are going to be looking at the Dorado replay right now, Ryan, or what can you see?
Yeah, just look at the replay now to see what happened, and it looks like it might have just maybe been a bit of a bottleneck effect as come through heading up to the kink, and it looks like Dorado gets through there okay, and oh, he just gets tagged from behind. I don't know if that was Raphael breaking too early or not, but he just got.
So this is Murakami. We're now going to look at that kerfuffle that happened at the bus stop chicane. Right now entering the turns 1 and 2 of the NASCAR. I missed that. Can't decipher that number right now. That's alright though. So he's gonna enter the bus stop just about now. Let's see what happens. Or is he just gonna outbrake himself and spin? No, there's already he's coming to a scene already. Look at that, 5 drivers, 6 drivers, 7 drivers. That's an 8th right there, just about squeezing by. So very good avoidance by a lot of drivers.
There's a battle for the leads going on at the moment, and Rob Olenek tried to take a look up the inside of Claridge, and yeah, they've got company as well behind them. Nicola Coach in 3rd place. He's caught right up to these guys, and he's not letting them
behind
get away.
those, sorry, Ryan, Bill, Tyler, and Sebastian Tixier side by side through turn 1 and the 3rd turn, and actually Bill Tyler was able to get past him there. Great move by Tyler, moves himself up into the top 5. We're actually going to show you a replay there, Ryan.
Yeah, just about to look at the replay now to see how the move happened, and it looks like Tyler went up the inside of Tixier, and Sebastian just kind of left the door open.
Yeah, Tixier, after a mistake through turn 1, left him wide late on the throttle. Tyler very easily making that run into turn 3 and takes that position away. So Tixier now back into 6th with Bill Tyler up to 5th. Biggest mover inside the top 10 right now, that's Benjamin Demostien from 20th up to 9th.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic start, and the battle for P9 going on at the moment, and yeah, it's Rafael Dorado just got by as well. So after having a bit of not a great qualifying and a bit of a terrible start, he's back up into the top 10 at the moment. So good progress being made by Rafael.
Yeah, Benjamin lost 2 positions at the start of this lap, so that's why he's now back into 11th. Just blinked a little bit. Now comes the attack from Douglas Cloud on Rafael Dorado. Round the outside, Douglas has to go to number 26. Can he make the corner? Yes, he can. No, he can't. That's a big no. Gonna need their most definitely postcard to send to that apex.
Yeah, I thought he was on his way down to the beach, but the way he was going at the moment anyway. But yeah, Rafael Dorado's still in 9th place at the moment, and if there was a driver I was going to choose for most improved driver of the season, it would definitely have to be Rafael Dorado. He's just been making progress as the season goes on, and he's been getting quicker and quicker.
Yeah, I most definitely have to agree there with you. Rafael Dorado, obviously also with the help of one Tristan Chalina. So those two working very greatly together. Maybe he still can have that 4th place in the championship after all, but it's still a very tough task to get, because right now that opponent in that championship battle, well, he's sitting in 4th place just behind the battle for P1. Robotnik once again on the attack over Mick Pledge. He's sitting in the draft. You can see how much that suspension has to work on that old oval here. Obviously, this is the 2008 version of Daytona. As Robotnik to the outside he goes. Wouldn't have made it this time around. Still was about 9/1000th of a second between the two. Robotnik on the outside. He's not going to make that.
Oh, God, has lost it.
Mick Pledge. No, he's not spinning. But he's most definitely going to lose 1st and also 2nd place. Nicola Cochi says, thank you very much. I'm going to pass.
Whew, I bet that woke my cup in a hurry anyway. That was a...
Going on board with Mick Pledge to once again relive these moments. A little bit too far back for us. There we go. Now we're going to enter the dog leg here of Daytona. And let's just watch those hands. Comes to the entry, and there's already the 1st, there's the 2nd, goes full log to the right. Somehow keeps it together, and once again has a moment on the grass. keeps it all safe and steady though, Ryan, to continue in third place.
Yeah, and at the moment, I don't know at the moment. I've not checked the points, but as it stands, that's the championship advantage to Rob Olnick at the moment. As a further back in the pack as well, we've got a battle going on for P12 as a as Mick Claridge loses it into the bus stop again.
It's a little bit slidey right now. This is something that I was talking about when our mix were still cold ahead of today's show. Mick Claridge, Rob Olnick has to put the pressure on Mick Claridge. It's 22 points the difference between those two, as Chris Murakami now also officially retires his car. He has to win, put the pressure on Mick Claridge, because we all know he loves that win. There's nothing more he loves to do than to win, and he is extremely competitive, and when he doesn't get that win, he is prone to mistakes, like we have already seen at the very beginning of the season at Okayama, where he accidentally retired and only scored 2 points.
Indeed, and I don't want to go away from this battle as well, but I'm just watching behind these top three guys and closing in quickly as Norway's Ove Trengrid, so it could be a four-way battle for the one, quite possibly.
Last lap he was 1.4 seconds faster than Rob Olnick, so as you said, most definitely closing in with quite some big steps towards these guys. Right now the gap 2 seconds. And as always, if you want to keep up with all of the dramas running still here today, GSRC.tv is your site to be. That's our official lifetime in scoring page for all of our broadcasts. As the four guys enter the bus stop for the 6th time today, Ove Trengrid with a big mistake through there, so he's losing a lot of time right now. Mick Claridge, though, he's on attack of Nicola Kochi. He has to be careful though, because Kochi has the draft of Rob Olnick ahead of him. So what is going to be happening here? Oh, he goes to the inside. Nicola Kochi did not defend. That gives the draft to Mick Claridge. Look at that on the outside. Nicola Kochi much faster, though Mick Claridge takes away that spot once again, as he moves up now to 2nd place with Nicola Kochi not as strong on the brakes.
Yeah, I think Kochi kind of decided not to make a big deal of it, because Claridge got the run in him, and Claridge has got by Kochi, and he's closed right back up to the back of Rob Olnick. So again, the battle for the lead and for the championship is back on.
As the skies open slightly once again to allow some sunlight to hit the track temperature rises a little bit, just 1 degree Celsius up to 32, with the air temperature still limbering around 20 degrees Celsius or 68 Fahrenheit, 89 Fahrenheit on the track. Still in a battle for 13th place run, it's Anthony Brother and Robert Plumley.
Yeah, I was about to say as well, Robert Plumley has made up 10 positions, starting P24 in the grid up into P14, so a great job by Robert at the moment. And he races quite a lot of things, Robert, and he's maybe not the quickest of drivers, but when he keeps out of trouble and he keeps his nose clean, he's a very consistent driver. And the battle for the lead's back on at the moment between Olnick and Claridge.
Yeah, Claridge on the outside once again. They are battling down the dog leg. This one would have gone to Rob Olnick, 17 1,000ths of a second. The decider would have been there, but we're only on lap 8 of 20. So still a lot of battling to go. The drivers have been talking, by the way, behind the scenes on their Discord server, what the best strategy would be to take the win here today, and both Rob Olnick and Mick Claridge agreed that there is no definite strategy to win here today. Could be between those two through the bus stop or anywhere else through the circuit. So most definitely chances are wide open to win today's race.
And look at this now. We've not got just a 3-car battle now. We've got a 4-car battle now, because Trengrid is close right up to these guys, and as we come onto the bank, I thought Claridge was going to run into the back of Olnick now as they head onto the banking.
Drew Crook is the car upside there, on the very upside there. He's a lap car now going 2 laps down on these guys. Obviously, he was also one of the cars involved in the very early crashes that we saw already today. Riding on board with Owen Trinket once again, you can see just how loose his setup is. That's just the way he loves to drive that Lotus 49. It's pretty much a Gilles Villeneuve style of setup he is driving that Lotus 49 with. As once again, Mick Ledge up ahead. He goes to the right side of Rob Olnick. He would have had enough to win this race right now, as it was 9/1000ths of a second in favor of him. In behind Nicola Kochi, all slideways on the brakes, somehow keeps it all out of everybody. Also over Trango, it overshoots his braking point a little bit. Both of them lose a little bit of time to the top 2, but they're still very much in contention.
I'm amazed that Kochi managed to hold that. I thought he was going to spin round into the tyre barrier on the inside of turn 1 on the pit exit, but he done well to keep control of that. And Olnick and Claridge have just slightly managed to pull away a little bit, build a bit of a gap, but that gap will probably disappear as they head on to the NASCAR oval because just because of the slipstream.
Nicola Kochi a little bit slideways out of turn number 6. So he's losing once again a little bit of time as they enter once again the banking here at the Daytona Oval. Looking back from Kochi onto over Trangerate, you can see how little really the draft makes a difference down the backstretch into the chicane here. As once again the front 2 have very much closer. Oh, there might have been a slowdown for over Trangerate. Seems like he was not penalized with that, just an off track, as he does not need to slow down. But once again, McLeish on the outside of Rob Olnick up ahead of them, side by side, and I think McLeish might actually clear him once they come to turn 1. Not quite, he has to stay up high. Rob Olnick still on the very far inside, a little bit sideways, coming off the banking once again from McLeish, keeps it all together. And most importantly, Rob Olnick keeps his lead.
Oh, this is a fantastic battle between these 2 guys. The racing heats are hard but fair and given plenty of respect as they come by a back marker, and they managed to get by it without no problems. But again, behind these guys, we've got Kochi and Trengrade closing back up to them.
And Rang was said back marker, very much jumping out of the way, and much respect he gives to the guys ahead of him, as both Rob Olnick and Mick Ledge outbreak themselves as does Andrew hanging behind. So this still keeps the top 4 close together. Lap number 10 of 20 after this lap. Official halfway mark in this race, and it has been non-stop action for the top spot.
Absolutely, and the field might have spread out a little bit, but we've got this battle up at the front, and again, Claridge has got the run on the Olnick, but I don't think he's going to try anything silly into the bus stop, and the Olnick actually goes defensive on the inside line, so that might compromise his exit onto the exit of the bus stop, and again, Claridge has got the run.
Yeah, and even Nicola Kochi had a good run through the bus stop, but the best run was still by Rob Olnick, even though he had to go defensive there. So very good drive from the New England driver. But here now comes Mick Ledge with the draft. Will he pop out? Yes, most definitely he will. As also in behind over Tringray tries to overtake Nicola Kochi. So it's a bit of a 2x2 into turn 1 here at Daytona. Nicola Kochi tries to attack Mick Ledge. Mick Ledge has to open up the steering a little bit, but no harm and no foul. Second half of the race has officially begun. Top 4 separated by just 0.8 of a second, and it's already an 11.6 second gap back to Bill Tyler in 5th.
Absolutely, and there's nothing to separate the top 4 at the moment. It's again just because the slipstream is so close. Olnick actually gets a bit twitchy as they head on to the NASCAR NASCAR oval, and it kind of compromises his exit a little bit.
Yeah, apologies to the rest of the field for not showing you anything else but the top spot. But as you can see, once again, the battle is on between Clutch and Olenek. Olenek didn't get a good run onto the banking, but he's able to defend his place for now. Once again, does a good job through the bus stop, gets the better run than Clutch. Clutch has been subpar nearly every single time out of the bus stop. So that is really interesting as Ovitrengri tries to attack Nikola Kochi. So does Miklaj with Rob Olnik once again 2x2 entering turn 1. Who is gonna come out first the other side? Oh, Ovitrengri has to avoid Miklaj, goes super wide. He's gonna lose a lot of time right now. Surely it's about 2 seconds that he's gonna lose there, as we're now back to just a 3-car battle for P1.
Yeah, I thought I was going to end up in a big wreck between the top 4 because they were all so close together under braking for turn 1, and Trengrid just went well wide and lost a bunch of time to the top 3 in front of him.
One other battle we also have in the field is the battle for P6. That's between Antti Kärönen, your winner of the F2 Championship this season, and Sebastian Tixier, 6th place in the Drivers' Championship, if I remember correctly. They are fighting a little bit wide there from Kärönen. Didn't impact his line whatsoever, but Tixier, big mistake from him into turn 6. That just lost him about half a second back to Kärönen. So that battle is no more really. But back in the lead, Miklaj once again starts to pound the back of Robolnik. Once again, it was into the bus stop chicane, but once again, Ryan, Robolnik coming out victorious. But for how long?
Absolutely, but look, Claridge has got the run on him now as they come down to the home straight. Oh, the bounce on the oval section a little bit, and I thought that was going to be a big accident. But Claridge is trying to go for the move, but Ulrich managing to stay ahead under braking, or just about as about to brake for turn 1, and Claridge can't do anything at the moment. So advantage to Ulrich.
Yeah, something we missed last lap, turn number 6. Nikola Kochi, big mistake, actually had a big slide there, went all the way into the grass. And so he is now back into 4th place, but both him and Ovitrengrid once again are very fast on catching Kledge and Olenik, who are battling away and most definitely could be running away with this lead if they wouldn't fight so hard right now.
And they're about to come up and lap a back marker now, and just trying to find out who it is, and but they shouldn't have any issues getting by at the moment as they close back up under braking and back onto the banking. Now they come, and they'll probably catch that back marker before the home straight, and hopefully it moves out the way just in time.
There is Donald Peak letting those guys pass as he stays up high. Now also Ovitrengrid and Nikola Kochi fly past him, but Miklaj also trying to fly past Rob Olnik once again into the bus stop. But Robo continues to just be better down the brakes here, and also through turn 1.
Yeah, you would think Olnik would probably have his exit compromised because he's having to go to the inside to defend the line, but actually he's actually getting a great exit as well. So maybe seems to be working for him. Maybe just carrying more speed, but he seems to be able to carry on the exit. As Claridge again tries to go for a move on the outside, but as they get so close as they come across the line.
Much respect, but also very close racing between those two, fighting for the lead, fighting for the championship. Miklaj still continues to have the upper hand on the second. Mentioning the championship still very much in the grasp of Miklaj, as there's a mistake from Robo. Miklaj has to slam the brakes, does so effectively, and not run into Robolnik.
I think there might have been a slight, I was about to say, there might have been a slight bit of contact, but behind them is Ovitrengrid in 3rd place, who's close back up to these two guys, and Olenek gets a bit sideways under braking, and again the top 3 really close together, and Kochi's lost time, so it looks like the battle for the win will be between these three guys, as I finally get my words right.
And now it shall be interesting. There's a few more cars that they have to lap. Billy Bob Wright, good job from him, drops to the apron there to let these guys pass. And now Terry Trommeshauser does the same thing there. Good job from him to let all of these guys pass as they once again go side by side into the bus stop for about the 16th time in 14 laps.
Oh, I thought they were going to go side by side through the bus stop, but Trengray behind these guys has got a great run. He's got the run on Claridge, and Claridge has lost touch a little bit with all on it.
Nicola Kochi continues to struggle in behind them. Another mistake. That's now 3 and 2 laps. So he's much out of contention for this right now. Here comes Ovi Trengray going side by side with P2. He's giving them a lot of space down below. Klerch could have made it 3 wide if he would have wanted to. Decided better of that. A little bit of a mistake once again on the brakes from pretty much all 3 drivers. There's also now a mistake from Rob Olnick on the throttle as he goes sideways there. Also, Klerch goes onto the gravel trap on the inside. All of them make it somehow through that. And Robo once again continues to lead away.
This is fantastic racing between these guys, and they went by the back marker, and Mick Claridge, I thought he was going to collide with the pit wall. He's so close to it.
Oh, Nicola Kochi once again a bad mistake in behind, spins himself out on the brakes. He's now completely lost them as we continue to stay there. He didn't hit the wall through turn 6, just lost a lot of time, so his tires most definitely are done. All he can do is now secure that 4th place, but here once again comes Mick Klerch to the outside. He goes through the bumpy oversec. No, the
touch the wall!
He goes, keeps his car straight now side by side with Ovi Trengray, who had to go all the way into the very far inside apron.
Whoa. Yeah, we need to watch a replay of that because of what happened, because Claridge might have some slight front right wheel damage, and just look at the replay now from Claridge's onboard. He gets a run and all on it, he goes for the move, and I don't know if he might have just got scared a little bit, but Olenek just flunched a little bit, and it caused Claridge to clip the wall.
I nearly think there was a little bit of netcode there from the bump, but somehow that wall contact didn't hinder Mick Klerch whatsoever as he slides his way through turn 1. So does Rob Olnick, taking 2 completely different lines, one on the outside, one on the inside. Mick Klerch, though, he's a little bit rattled. Look at that. Once again, a bad mistake on the brakes that allows Ovi Trengray to come right back at him. And also, Ryan, we once again have a few back markers coming up. 3 in the names of Hengler, Van Dorn.
Yeah, we've got the battle for P6 going on at the moment between Tixier, Kerrigan, and it looks like Rafael Dorado as well. 3-car battle going on, and Dorafo's caught right up to these guys. And it looks like, from what I'm watching, it looks like Dorado could be the quickest out of these three cars at the moment. So I think it's just a matter of when, not if, when the move's done.
Yeah, most definitely we have there. Who is leading that? Sebastian Tixier is leading that, as the front are going into the bus stop, and this time they are being slowed down by lap drivers. Chris Hengler is the one that's holding them up the most right now as he blinks out of existence. Mick Klerch now has a very good run, but so does Ovi Trengray. So this might get interesting come turn 1 as Ovi Trengray, he's streaming up to Mick Klerch. 2 wide now. Mick Klerch decides to stay tucked behind Rob Olnick. And now still side by side for 2nd place between Trengray and Mick Klerch. Klerch has a little bit of a slide to the inside. Over Trengray continues to drive on the very outside. That was very close there between Rob Olnick and John Van Dorn. Both make it happen as all 3 go past Van Dorn.
Yeah, that was close. Van Dorn, there wasn't really anything he could do. He tried to get out the way as much as he could, and kind of slowed Mick Klerch and Ovi Trengray off a little bit, but he still, top 3 are really close together, and this is a fantastic race. And something's happened to Sebastian Tixier.
Looks like turn one, and looks like he had help as we go to our GSRC replay. There we go, and it's Antti and the first mistake of the season for him, as also Nicola Kochi had a mistake there through turn one. Yeah, Keranen just loses it on the brakes, spins, kicks the air around. And there is Nicola Kochi. He now even lost the positions to Dorado and Keranen. Remember, it's only 5 points between Dorado and Kochi. So that is very interesting.
As back up at the front, they've got a back marker to negotiate, and the back marker decides to get out of the way and go onto the lower side of the banking and get out of the way. As a rider on board the Robley train grade, and he's just sitting watching the top two in front of him, and Claridge has got the run on Olenek because they head down to turn one. Olenek tries to go as tight as possible down to the inside. Oh, as Claridge almost gets close to Olenek's rear left wheel.
Actually, there's a mistake from Leclerc. He somehow keeps it together. I think there might have even been contact there, Ryan.
It could have been that it was so close to being contact anyway. If they didn't have any contact, but it was close. As the train grades up into second, and he could be a factor in this championship decider, as they've got about 2 laps remaining in this race.
Actually, I have to correct myself a little bit. It's 7 points between Kochi and Dorado, as Kochi overtook Dorado just a few moments ago. So Kochi still is ahead in the battle for 4th place in the F1 Championship. Though Leclerc, he is now a little bit backpedaling over train grade. Now in 2nd place, Rob Olnick in 1st. That gives a 10 points gap in favor of Rob Olnick right now, but still would not be enough to overtake Nick Leclerc. As remember, that points gap is 22 points going into this one.
As they come on into the bus stop, riding on board with Mick Claridge, and onto the exit of the bus stop, and it'll be interesting to see if Claridge has lost any straight line speed after that little bit of contact with the wall. But again, he doesn't seem to be losing out too much as come round the banking and run back onto the home straight, and Claridge still he's not closing up that much.
If Rob Olnick wins this, Mick Leclerc is allowed to drop all the way back to 7th place, and he would still win the championship, as over train grade very far to the outside. He completely outbrakes himself. He's gonna hit the tire wall nearly. No, he avoids that. And also Rob Olnick super wide on the exit. That shoots back Mick Leclerc into 2nd place, maybe even into 1st place as they go side by side there into turn number 3. Still side. That's contact. Upside down, Mick Leclerc is not going to be able to get back on his roof. That's the championship decided.
Oh, that was so unfortunate. We're looking at the replay now of the incident between. The replay's up now, and Clarence goes for the move up the inside of Olenek. That was just the tiniest bit of contact, just resulting in them locking up, and Clarence rolled over.
There we have once again that costly mistake from Mick Leclerc from the chopper. Gets flipped upside down, and that's the championship battle decided in favor of Rob Olnick. He's gonna be taking home P1 as long as he finishes inside the top 10.
And I think after that incident, Mick Claridge will probably be jumping into his car and going down to the beach and drowning his sorrows in loads of beer.
That probably might be something that is going to happen. Though we still have to battle for P1 in this race, Rob Olnick versus over train grade. Both of them continue unharmed from all the things that happened around them, as they enter lap number 20, which means last lap, white flag in the air. Over train grade versus Rob Olnick. This is going to be quite an interesting battle because they haven't battled much this season thus far. So it's going to be very interesting to see, Ryan, what happens come the bus stop.
Yep, I think this is the part of the track where Ovi will be planning his move. Maybe he'll try and make a move heading out to the bus stop, or he'll I think his best bet is waiting until the bus stop to try and get a good exit and try and use that slipstream to try and slingshot his way by.
Little bit sideways once again out of turn number 6 for Rob Bolnick. Now also through, or rather now out of turn 6, turn 5 as well. Previous corner, now they go once again onto the banking. Rob Olnick versus Ove Trengerate. Who is going to take the season finale home? Is it the Norwegian or is it the New England driver? The Norwegian tries to go around the outside into the bus stop. 300, 200. They are braking right now. Ove Trengerate still side by side with Rob Olnick as they continue side by side out of the bus stop. Rob Olnick cuts the chicane. And Ove Trengerate continues to be on the loud pedal on the high side. This obviously gives him the long run, but it might set him up perfectly for the line as the exit. NASCAR turn number 4. Ove Trengerate once again goes to the outside. He has the momentum that he needs. They are sliding a little bit through the dog leg. Who's going to have to go to the right? It's going to be Ove Trengerate over the line. It's Rob Olnick. Crashes hard. 77 1,000 of a second separate them at the end.
Oh, holy moly! As the battle between the battle for 4th place between Kerrinan and Coach is coming up to the line now. Coach has got the run on Kerrinan is head up to the line, and it looks like Coach might just get it, but it's still real close to come to the line. Who's going to get it? It's going to be. It looks like Coach got it.
It was Coach, yes indeed. 22 1,000 of a second in favor of the Italian. He's going to secure his 4th place in the championship. We also have one more battle to the line. It's Emmanuel Pereira versus Colin Bentley. Pereira is the chasing driver. And let's see if he has enough drive in his Lotus 49. He is far back though right now. And so indeed it will happen. Colin Bentley will take home 10th place. And Emmanuel Pereira a very good 11th place, starting from 19th. So good job from both here in this last race of this season. With all of that action done and dusted, we're gonna step aside for just a few moments to take a breather, but we will be quickly back for the post-season show, as where we run you down the unofficial finishing order, talk to some of the drivers, and close off an event for race and season. So don't step away too far, as GSRC will be back after these messages. race show streaming into your home on the global SimRacing channel via the iRacing eSports network. And are you interested in advertising with GSRC? Our challenge 1 million monthly global impressions are a great way to get your branding seen by a diverse audience. Follow the link in the description to learn more. Learning more is also what we're about here at GSRC, and over Trangrate somehow took away that victory, starting from 6th place on the grid, takes it away over the line after 33.5 minutes by 0.077 of a second. Robolnik, your championship winner of the season, finishes exactly where he started in 2nd place, with Bill Tyler finishing out your top 3 here today. Nicola Gocci, it was one of the races he could have lost, and he most definitely lost it with all the mistakes he did here today. Antti Kerinen, 5th place for him. Rafael Dorada, a great recovery drive from him, finishes him in 6th place. Sebastian Tixier, 7th. Pekka Risto, 8th. And then a very great drive to finish off the top 10 from Benjamin Demostin from 20th to 9th. And Colin Bentley not qualifying, so it's not the top charger of today, but 34th to 10th. That's quite the achievement, Ryan.
It is, and finishing 11th after starting 19th was Manuel Pereira. 12th after starting 24th was Robert Plumley with an amazing drive, finishing in 12th, so a great result for him. 13th after starting 27th, Anthony Abrofa. 14th was Jan Lehman. Andreas Bruno in 15th. 16th was John Van Dorn. 17th was Mick Claridge after that unfortunate incident. 18th was Terry Tromshauser. 19th was Douglas Nelson. And 20th was Richard Tucker.
As it is the end of the season, we're gonna run you down all of the 38 drivers here today. Andrew Eng, 21st. Gary Teal, 22nd. 23rd went to Dave Coyne. 24th to Andrew Kruk. He's already 3 laps down, by the way. And then David Meyer, he didn't finish today in 25th. 7 laps down. Chris Hengler as well, 7 laps down in 26th. Billy Bob Wright, 27th. Don Peak, 28th. Paul Forster, he finished in 29th with David Price on his return once again to the series. Only a 30th place, and with that, DNF'd.
Yep, and the rest of the pack was either too far behind or retired from the race after that chaotic opening laps in the early stages of the race. And I believe we've got some interviews coming up. And Steph, I believe you've got the new champion, Rob Olnick, with you.
Very much so. Rob, congrats on your championship victory here today. Obviously, not quite the way you would have wanted to win that, but still a very great achievement of beating one Mick Claridge. Seems like Rob still has himself muted right now.
Oh, sorry.
There he is.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that's not how I wanted to win it. I definitely didn't want to even touch Mick all race. He was blinking out on that corner. I knew he went in, and I was kind of already committed to kind of pinching him hard and make him work for it. And then all of a sudden, like, he was gone, and his car was flipping in the rearview mirror. So I don't even know what happened exactly. I definitely didn't expect to win the championship today. Not even close to it. I really just want to have a good race. In yesterday's race, Mick kept taking the inside, and it's so hard to get by on the outside of turn 1. And when he had made the mistake and I got in the lead, I was like, you know what? Normally I wouldn't kind of defend that early on a drafty track, but I was like, you know what? I'm just not letting him by. I'm taking this inside every single time. And amazing job by Uwe. Mick and I went side by side through that chicane yesterday twice. And to do it on the final lap and hold it and then take the victory was pretty awesome by him.
Very much so from what we're trying right now. Rob, today was a rather interesting race. I did speak with Mick earlier today, and he said if the track temperature is somewhere around the 90 Fahrenheit, you guys are going to struggle with your tire pressures. And we most definitely saw a lot of mistakes from all of you out there today. How was it to drive?
It did feel like it was tough to drive today. The infield, the last right-hander before you get on the oval, I struggled badly there today. I was coming up the inside of turn 1 a lot. I didn't know if it was just that or the track. I ended up running a half PSI higher on my tires, and I didn't even check at the end, but it definitely didn't feel as good as it did when it was a little warmer.
Right. Well, Rob, are we gonna see you next season once again here at the Grand Prix Legends?
You definitely should, I would say. I've wanted to take a little break for a while, but I'll just probably never do it. I like racing too much. So saving
Well,
Camel, like I just don't stop. Yeah. All right. But another great season by you guys too. I think you guys put on the best broadcast, I think, and your commentary, your preparation, I think. You guys definitely know what's going on out there more than most of the others I've seen, and like the individual guys out here and stuff. I really appreciate you guys doing an awesome job on our broadcasts.
thank
So,
you. That's top honors from you right there. You want to say something else?
No, I was just saying thanks, and I'll see you next season, guys.
Yep, we most definitely look forward to seeing you next season as well. Once again, Rob, congrats. Don't spray too much champagne. Drink a little bit more. And yeah, we're gonna be most definitely looking forward to next season. One season that we're also gonna look forward to is Mick Ledger's next season, who most definitely it did come back to haunt him, that mistake at Okayama.
Oh, hi, yeah. Apparently it did it? Oh well, that's annoying.
Yeah, you have to say, Mick, it was that was one heck of a show that you and Rob put on for the final round of the championship, and yeah, it was just unfortunate the circumstances and the way it went, but yeah, you must have enjoyed that battle with Rob. I mean, just going at it every lap and every corner, it was just absolutely fantastic stuff between both of you. It was hard but fair, and plenty of respect being given.
Yeah, it looked like that. We couldn't have a better race than last week, didn't it? But couldn't believe it. Yeah, that was just insane. I don't even know what to say about that race. It was just madness. 1 minute, Rob would be there getting away, then the back marker would balk him, and then I'd be alongside in turn one and stuff like that. And I've never run so many different lines through turn one in my life. That turn is hard enough in this car when you get it right normally, but trying to get around Rob round the outside and then then losing it, and then watching Rob lose it and trying to beat him to the next corner, it was just insane. Just watching Rob was unbelievable today. He was such a brilliant driver today. That defense he put up, that was just from the top drawer. That was seriously good driving. Fair play to him.
Yeah, Rob said to us every time he came onto the home straight, he was taking the inside line and he wasn't going to let you buy that easy. And even I have to say that was a great defensive job by him. He wasn't doing anything silly. He put his car where it needed to be, especially into turn one. But yeah, the top three you guys like Ove and Nicola and you seemed to be making mistakes in turn one from time to time. One lap it would be Robert who made a mistake, and then the next lap you make a mistake, and so on. And that was just crazy.
It's because it's such a hard braking marker for turn one, and obviously you're coming down off the banking as well, and you've got so much suspension travel in the 49. It only takes a little bit of loss of grip, and that's it. The thing will go. I mean, you saw me nearly 180 it into the apex at one point, and so yeah, it probably is the hardest corner on iRacing in that car anyway. For us guys, it's just beyond a joke. That was, trying to nail the apex every lap is just insane. And then, like I said, putting the fact you're fighting, you're looking in your mirror to see what's going on behind and who's catching and stuff like that. It's just too much for humans to take in.
And what's been your or how do you think the seasons went? Do you think it's went as well as you expected, or is there any races that you think could have went better? For example, for Okayama, when you accidentally, I could say, put it in the wall.
Yeah, Okayama, that was a bit of a forgettable one. Yeah, funny enough, me and Rob was talking about this the other day because we was like working out how he was still in with a chance for the title, you know. And so we went through all the races, and then I realised, I missed Brands Hatch, crashed out at Pocono. Pocono was a good race, to have Christian there racing with us that day, just showing us all how it should be done, And then, we get to Le Mans and that last lap at Le Mans, that was one of the highlights of the season. But I'll tell you what, this race was better than the last lap of Le Mans. It was just such a brilliant battle. But do you know what? I'll tell you the highlight of this season by quite a way, for me anyway, is Back Row Bob's win. He won this season, and that means so much to me because I love that guy.
Great to hear. And I have to say, I guess, congratulations on second in the championship, Mick. I mean, it's not, you lost out, but it must still be a great result this season. And before we let you go, are you planning to race next season, or are you planning to race more of a part-time basis?
Well, first on the championship, well done, Rob. Rob's just been awesome today. If any, he really needed to be awesome today, and he was. Look at his drive today. That was just unbelievable. I can't wait to watch it back with him. We'll go in the other channel in a minute and watch it back, and we'll have a good old laugh about it. And but next season, I should be here. I always say that I'm going to have a break, but I probably won't, and I'll probably practice as well as I can. Had a message from Michelle the other day. He might be back, maybe not at the start of the next season, but maybe during the middle of it. Hopefully we'll get new tyres on the car. So good things. So looking forward to it anyway, no matter what I do next season. Hopefully I'll be able to do all the races.
Well, thanks again for joining us, Mick. And it was unfortunate you missed out, but you gave it a good go anyway. And we look forward to seeing you on track next season.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Yeah, no, let me just say, I mean, like I said to you before, I'd rather have good races than an easy win today. I would have taken that battle with Rob and over any championship title for this season. That means everything to me, having a good fight.
Good stuff. Well, again, we'll look forward to seeing you on track next season, Mick. And thanks for joining us in the booth.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
As that was Mick. Oh, sorry, Steph.
Yep, that was Mick Klatsch there. Sorry, Ryan, I jumped on you there. Your championship second place finisher of the Grand Prix Legends 2020 Season 3. And with all of that, we here at GSRC would like to thank everyone on the track today and throughout the season for a great show, and especially the whole Lotus 49 community for contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. Right now on your screen you can see all of the companies that provide us with their great hard and software GSRC uses to deliver you the best possible show. Additional thanks goes to June Lalonde, who provides us with her great masterpieces. See the screen for how to get a hold of more of her great work. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, please visit us at globalsimracingchannel.com. You can also find us on the social media platforms, Twitter with @GSRChannel, Facebook at facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel, on Instagram at GSRC_RAM. All of the upcoming races for our other series are now starting across your screen, so check them out and mark down your calendar to not miss another second of exciting racing action. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew throughout this season, but especially Sean, Ryan and Dougie, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in as over Tringerade took away the victory here in Daytona, with Rob Olnick winning the F1 Championship and Untitled taking home the F2 Drivers' title. With that said, until next time, servus and sayonara, and as always, race hard, race clean, and we'll see you on the track.